Welcome to part 8 of our tutorial series on how to create a survival game with Ultimate Survival from Winterbyte. And in this tutorial we'll be adding a new buildable object, and to make it a little bit more interesting I've popped over to the asset store and I've downloaded the latest version of the survival pack from Lucy and Pavel. It basically includes some of the models that we already get with Ultimate Survival, but a lot more. So we're going to be adding some log walls. I want to make it short, seeing as I've had a bit of feedback that some of the videos do go on for a little bit too long, maybe, when they could be a little bit shorter. And I'd like to take this opportunity to say a big thank you to everyone who's clicked like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and watching all these videos and leaving all those fantastic comments. It really does mean a lot, and every time you click like or you put a comment, it seems to do a +1 in the YouTube algorithm that makes these videos easier to find. So it is the circle of life, Simba, and it's a wonderful thing. So we're inside Unity, back in our scene, and I've gone into the Ultimate Survival folder, Prefabs and Building folder. And I'm going to grab this platform wood and let's just lower it down into our scene a little bit. Let's have a look to see what you get with a fully functioning building piece. So other than the standards, we've got the top and the event script. So we've got here the building piece script where all the magic happens. So you've got the piece name, and here how many items are required to build this platform. It's 2, it's a log, 20 pieces of logs, it's plank, 10 pieces of plank. Now the bounds, you've got here this blue box. We've got the mesh of this object here that's been dragged and dropped in here, and here you need to take up a space for foundation, and the spaces it occupies are 2, foundation and outer stairs, so that 2, it can't exist in the same place as other things, it will conflict. Requires sockets, doesn't, because it's free place. Something else doesn't need to exist for this platform to snap onto, so you can just freely place it anywhere on the terrain. Allow under terrain and out of ground height. So out of ground height is the offset that will be peeking out the ground, and we don't allow it to go under the terrain. The stability, this will be if this was something that's breakable, that once it's attached to another building piece, that should that parent building piece break, that this item would then also break, like a lamp or a picture or something like that. And here we've got terrain protection, basically saying that this here foundation can't, well, the terrain can't obstruct it, so it needs to be poking out of the terrain. So here we go. You can see this part here, it's basically saying at least this box needs to be out of the terrain for it to basically be allowed to be placed. And here you've got the placement effect, so when you place it down on your world, you can make a nice soaring noise or whatever noise you want it to make. And here's the preview material. So, and then we've got the vitals, so how tough this is. If it was 1, it would be indestructible. If it was down here at the bottom, it would be paper thin. Health regeneration, just like we had with the NPCs. This can regenerate its health over time. And that's about it, so let's start making our own. So let's head over to the, my eyes aren't working, the survival pack, and open up pack, building parts, and open up logs, and for a quick one, let's find what should we grab? Let's grab a log wall. Where's the log wall? Here it is. So here's a log wall. Let's grab it into our scene. How does it look compared to these ones? Well, it's a bit small compared to the ones that we got with Ultimate Survival. Let's make it a little bit bigger. 1.2, 1.2, 1.2, and let's compare it to the ones we've got in Ultimate Survival, and grab a wooden wall Okay, so quite a big size difference in width, and ours is a little bit taller. Okay, and log wall, just make the size the same, so 1.5 to height 1.1, that's width here, so just leave that at 1, and here 1.1. So looks about the same size. And what we've got, and when we've got the wall out, we can see when we expand it that it's got 4 sockets and a hitbox. We'll have to replicate the same for ourselves. Now we could just drag and drop the ones from this wood wall into ours and play about with them, but for a change, let's make things from scratch. And just gonna line this up a little bit more. Nice. So first things first, let's go to Tools, Ultimate Survival, add Buildable Creator. Let's drag our log wall into the model, and 0.9. I'm going to add a obstacle for the AI so the NPCs don't try to walk through it, and click Create. Now we want our log wall to be able to be destroyed in game, so let's create an empty game object and make a hitbox. So I'm going to call it hitbox, same as you can see above here. Let's add a rigid body to it. Gravity on, kinematic is on. Let's add a box collider, and I'm going to set this box collider to be the same size dimensions as the pet log wall is. Quick cheat, I'm going to go to the log wall, I'm going to grab the box collider and copy that, go back to ours and paste in the values here. Lovely. And I'm also going to put a surface identity, and if we go back to our log wall and find, where do you live? You live here. So I go back to our here and I drag in log, and while we're at it, so we don't forget, let's lock that here. And where were you? Survival pack. You really should keep your eyes open, unlike I do. Here we go, it's in B1 logs, materials. So let's increase this to 9, and let's drag our log onto element 8. Lovely. So now when we hit this, it should have splinters, log wood splinters going everywhere. Fantastic. Let's unlock that one and go back to our hitbox. So we've got a rigid body with kinematic is on, gravity, a box collider, we've got a surface identity script for the log, and now we need the hitbox. And I'm not going to really increase the damage multiplier. It's not like we're hitting someone in the head, it's just a wooden wall. Before we leave, we're going to set the layer to hitbox. Now when we look at the wall wood, we see that there's 2 top sockets and 2 side sockets. Now the top sockets are placed either side of the wall, and that's because our wall is going to have roof pieces snap on here, either side. The roof wouldn't actually snap directly along the wood piece here. We're going to do the same thing with our log wall, and the side, that's fun, it's actually snapping on either side of them. So it'll be snapping on to the platforms, because the wood pieces have to snap onto something that already exists. They can't just be placed free floating in the world like ghost walls. So let's create a game object, upside, and zoom back in because I've just flown off. So we'll create a game object and we'll call this one a socket top, and we'll call this one a socket top. So let's get the tops out of the way at the same time. Grab this and position it at about the same place as the other one was. So if I move these, oops, here we go, that's better. That's a better view. And now I'm going to click add component, and on here we're going to add a socket component. Wow, here we go. So let's align our sockets up. Same, we're cheating a bit by having the original piece next to ours, but for this tutorial let's just cheat a little bit and make it quicker so that the rest of you can go and have a nice cup of tea. Now we want to add a supported piece, so what can be added here? Well, a roof can. So rather than adding another custom piece, we're going to add, for this scene, a roof metal. So add a piece here, drag roof here, fantastic. And while it's selected, let's do edit piece offset. And here is the roof. So we need to rotate it 90 degrees here, position it nicely so that it would snap. Here's our log, overlaps a little bit, so let's let it overlap and go into our log. Lovely. If you wanted to see this from this view here, let's add another piece, and wooden floor wood. Here it is. Let's edit that offset. It's inherited the other one. Looks quite good, but let's take a leaf out of their book and have it in the middle. And here we go. Lovely. Let's do the same with this one. Move it up, position it around there. Let's add that socket up a little bit. Actually, you could be clever and have a look here and say copy component, paste component values, and then just move it on that along the axes so that you know it's at the same height. And radius is quite big, and 0.8. Not sure how much of a difference radius is really going to make, but they had their ones there, and I'm messy, so I always like to just copy what other people do. So like the other one, we have the roof piece, and let's edit that in 90 degrees, move it over there, down a bit, and actually much like the previous one, if we edit this, we can see that we had a Z, copy that, and we got 1.16, and then we go here, edit, there we go, 1.16, that's minus 1.16. So it should be pretty much the same either side. Let's add another piece, and if we add our floor, it will inherit the values that we got from the last one. Lovely. Brilliant. And now let's add our side sockets. So create another empty game object, rename that one to socket side, and create another one, and rename that one to, you guessed it, socket left, no, socket side. So here we go. Let's have a look at our friend, the wood wall from Ultimate Survival, and you'll see here is one side piece, here's the other side piece, camouflaged nicely with our green ground. And actually, let's hide this platform. It's upsetting me, it's being naughty. So here we go, let's do exactly the same thing with ours. Right, so like we did before, let's move it roughly around the same place, add in our socket, make our socket. We're cheating again, it's helping us out, but you get the gist. It's in this corner here because it's what's going to get snapped to another object or platform. So side view, and it's perfectly lined up as it is with the front view. Here we've got our radius, and add a piece, and really the way that Ultimate Survival have done it, it's quite cheeky. They never have the wood pieces slot on to another wood piece or another object similar to wood, like a door frame. They always have it have a pillar in between to help buffer out, fill up the spaces, and also basically meaning that you only ever have to worry about these sockets locking onto one thing. Let's drag in our cheeky pillar wood. Let's edit him and rotating 90 degrees, and he looks perfect. So let's do the same for our friend on this side. Actually, let's do what we did before and copy our component, paste his values on the transform here, and just move him along this axis around here, and add that socket. And how's that looking? I think that looks bang on. Let's add the plus, drag in Mr. Cheeky here, again 90 degrees, and make this 0. Oops, 0. How many times my finger's going to put 9? 0.8, and he looks fantastic. So let's just recap what we've done so far. We've created our log wall, added a hitbox, created 4 empty game objects, renamed them into sockets, added on here the socket components, added what we want to be snapped onto these components in the game when we are building things, and we drag them in from our project. You never drag them in from your scene, always drag them in from down here where you got your project into there. And now we've got most of our buildable piece complete. Let's pop back to our log wall parent object, because so far we let's close our dev handler, our vitals, our nav mesh, and our building piece script is where we want to be. We haven't actually given it a name yet. That's a shame. Let's call it wall log. That's imaginative. Wall log. What did they call their one? What did they call it? They called it wall and brackets wood. Oh, okay. They added brackets on it to make it a little bit more manageable, I suppose. So it's a type of wall. That one was a wood one, and this one's a log one. Lovely. What do we need to build our log wall? Let's say we need one thing, and enter. That one thing is log, and how many? 30 logs. That's lots of logs. How many did they need for theirs? They need 8 log. Alright, that is a bit much. Alright, let's call it 20 log. 20 log. show our bounds and our bounds. Let's put 111 just to see how it stands in the world. Here it is. Oops, hang on, where did he go? Where did you go? There you go. So you can see at 111 it's quite different to our actual log piece here, and it's down below. So 1.5, 1.5 and 1.5. So what offset shall we have? Let's have our Z at 1.2, and turns out that 1.5 is a little bit much. Let's have it 1.4. Nope, too small. 1.45. And if I keep on dying of my voice, know that I love you. So 1.25. This is just now me mucking about and playing around, so I'm just gonna play a little bit more. If we get it right, Kushti. If not, it's a shame. 1, 5. Here we go. And you can see on this view he's a bit too big, isn't he? So 0.5, 0.2, 0.156. Alright, and there's our bounce of where we're placing our new log wall in our scene. That was a lot of messing about, wasn't it? Let's drag in our mesh. Where's our log wall gone? Log wall. Drag in our mesh. It's a wall. What does it occupy? It will occupy one place. It will occupy a wall. Doesn't occupy the floor, roof, outer stairs, inner stairs, door, window. It occupies a wall. Requires sockets? Yes, it does. It needs to be snapped on. Out of ground height? Don't have to worry about that. Allow under terrain? No, it's not going under to terrain. And check stability. If we destroy the parent item, will this also be destroyed? And terrain protection. Doesn't need terrain protection because it's not going to be poking into the ground. It's going to be always on a platform. Our audio. Let's click on our little thing here, circle, and say building. Oh no, it's object place sound effects. And our preview material is going to be a building preview material. And I had to pause it for a little bit because I had a coughing fit, so sorry about that. Now that we've got our log wall made, let's go into our all my stuff, graphics, prefabs folder. I made a buildable folder. I'm going to drag you in here, keep you safe and love you forever, and call you log wall building piece. Ooh, building piece. So now we've got a prefab of our log wall. You see here, updated as well. Wonderful. So we have our log wall. It's building piece layer. Hitbox is the hitbox layer, and our sockets, click the right one, are also building piece layers. Lovely jubbly, and they've got our pillar wood, and here it's got roof and floor. What we need to do now is add these into our menu. Let's go in-game GUI, canvas, windows. Let's go building menu. Let's go window. Let's go wheel. Keep on digging. Keep on swimming. Wall. And let's duplicate you. Put you up here a little bit so you're nice next to each other. And I'm going to call you wall log and log in brackets. Wall log log. That's got to be the same name as the name that we named it earlier in the building script. So wall and log. Let's drag you from our prefab into here. Building piece, building piece. We named it building piece like 20 times. Because it wasn't put building piece in itself. We need to put that in there. Alright, fine, let's get rid of that name, log wall. And log. There you go. So let's grab, where are you, log wall, change the icon. Now it looks pretty. It's got an icon. You can see here is the wheel. Here you are in the wheel. And for the sake of our test, I just realized that having 20 pieces of log in our inventory is really going to make it a little bit difficult for us to do our tests. Let's change that to just one log for our test, and we can change it back later. Before we pop into our scene, let's go back over here and put back our platform, delete that wooden wall, delete that log wall that was in our scene. Now we're left with our empty platform. Now we need our platform, this thing here, to accept our new log wall for it to snap to. So let's find this here. It's got on the socket on the side, socket on the side, socket on the side, socket on the side, 4 sockets on the side of our platform. Now we need to add a 5th and tell him actually we want you to be able to be snapped. Add another one on this one. Yep, you need to be on there. You, another one. Let's start wall and hello. Let's drag and drop you on there and go to daddy and click apply. So now all the prefabs have got it. Now I need to click on you and edit our piece offset, and it doesn't look fantastic, does it? Why? You at 90 minus 90? Okay. Feeling you're poking around. You're walking around where you're not wanted. Okay. Position of that one. And it's the position of this. Oh. I've just placed him on completely the wrong side. You should be over here. Completely the wrong socket. You can even see that it's highlighted here. So okay, roughly the same place. Very wrong. Okay. And oops, looks roughly about right. So let's save that here and stop editing you and go to this one and edit you, same as our good friend over there was. And how about you slightly on? Okay, looks good. And let's edit you. Put you in the middle here. Typical, kind of gives it away. Keep your eyes open, everyone. So E goes over here. Looking pretty good. But our good friend, this log piece is aligned badly. That looks. Yep, that's perfect. How was he? Yep, that was good one. And leaves this fellow here. This editable piece. Minus 90. Slightly. And put you here. There. Bang on. Okay, that was a lot of fanning about, but that's basically, you need to do that for every piece that you're adding. Okay, so let's build ourselves some foundations. Let's build them over here. Let's build a little house. Very small, crappy one. And let's add these here. Let's see how it works with the pillar. Well, it's not too shabby. Let's add another. Oops. Let's add this here, and we can't even get into a house, so let's add some small stairs. There we do. Now, did our roof work? That's a test. And how does it look? Are there any gaps anywhere? Let's turn off the plan so we can see. Oh, that's not too bad. We got some gaps. That's because we haven't actually got the pillar working on that side. So we could add that into that slot. But for our first attempt, I think we've done all right. Basically, we've got out of the rain, out of the sun. Reminds me of actually when I was in the army, we had to be sitting in here waiting for ages and ages, eating bad food, reading newspapers and playing tic-tac-toe. That's not a euphemism for something. Okay, so I think that's it for this tutorial. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm really sorry for the bad audio quality. My voice is still screwed. I can barely speak. I'm just going to sit here jumping about. Oh, I'm out of stamina. So I'm not going to jump about. I'm just going to look at our lovely house that we've built. Maybe put a little bed in there and have a sleep. And I'll see you guys in the next video. And if you like it, don't forget to click it. If you want to see more in our Ultimate Survival series, click on the videos that are playing now on the left side of your screen. And if you like what you see and you want to see more, click on that nice big subscribe button that's down below. Go on, you know you want to. Thanks, and see you next time.